So some of the family members have told me they are very upset with the concept of the demolition taking place before the trial. They are concerned that if the jury wanted to go to the home to take, a view for themselves, listen for themselves, look for themselves between rooms, et cetera, that they won't be able to do that. So several of the family members said that they were concerned about this and that they actually reached out to the prosecutor about it to ask that it not happen. Other family members have said that's not how they feel. So there is a split among the family members about this potential demolition. And I only say potential because a court can always come in and compel. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But first, I want to bring in a couple of people who know a lot about how the public is responding to this. Christine Cameron and Alina Smith are the moderators of a very popular Facebook group, University of Idaho Murders Case Discussion. The group members, and I think, ladies, you're past 250,000 group members on the Facebook group. They have a lot of different opinions about not only the various aspects of the investigation and the prosecution of Bryan Kohberger, but they also have a very deep concern for the families who've been left behind. So Christine Cameron and Alina Smith, I'll put this out to you, Christine, first. What do you think that the general consensus is about the house coming down among your group?
I think that most of the students on our page feel that the house is creepy. It's spooky. They don't like walking by the house and the constant daily reminder. They say it's triggering and they can't heal and it's difficult to move on. And many members on our page agree with their sentiments. However, the flip side of this is many worry about the ramifications of tearing down the house prior to the trial.
So, Alina, jump in on that point. What do they say? What are their specific concerns about the demolition prior to trial?
Hi, Ashleigh. I agree with Christine. That is the biggest consensus on our page. And everybody's saying that, it's pretty split, but I think most of it's like 60% towards have them leave it for the trial because, if you think back to all the other trials like OJ and even Moselle, Casey Anthony, they wandered and looked at the sites of the crime scene, and it's a lot to see the visual part of it, and it helps with the jury decision. And I think I was actually very surprised when you said that they don't consider it a crime scene. I did not know that. So when you said that just now, I was like, oh my gosh, to me, that's shocking. So right. I think that was too premature, and that needs to be reconsidered. And like you mentioned, they can still, attest this in court, and I hope they do because it's very important.
I have to say, honestly, I am parsing the words of the university as we spoke with them, and I was not 100% clear on it because it literally says this. The house has been fully transferred to the university, and we are able to proceed with our plans to demolish at this point. They didn't answer the specific question we had, which was, has it now been declared free from being a crime scene? I just assumed that that's what that meant. We are able. So it's still, I think it's still up in the air with nuance. I'm not 100% sure, but I do want to ask you, Christine, jump in on this. We had reporting from the parking lot that there were kids coming by and doing TikTok dances. And not just once, that it was a repeated affair. There have been plenty of looky-loos, crime tourists who have come. Some of them are really quite lovely, and they leave a memorial or flowers behind. Others, pose and drive by, take pictures, and then, of course, the TikTok dancers. How does your group weigh in on what they're seeing in terms of the activity out in front of the house?
Ashleigh, I think that this case has been so big that so many people are interested and invested in this story. And unfortunately, they want to be a part of it. And seeing the house, walking by, making videos, it's gross, it's disrespectful, but everybody, whether it's positive or negative, wants to be a part of this. And I would say that a majority of the people on our page don't condone that. They don't think that that's respectful in any way, shape, or form.
It is.
And
It's shameful. It's not just
while I
disrespectful
feel
and
that
gross. It
this
is
is a
so
healing
shameful,
step in
right?
taking down the house, I also feel that it only benefits Bryan, because removing this so prematurely, you don't know what the jury would want to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I have only about 10 seconds left. Alina, is there a consensus among your group about what they'd like to see happen with the actual real estate, with the site?
Yes, so we did put that question out there, and I did want to mention the best idea that I read, and it was a satellite station for campus police or local police, and to include a center for personal safety education. And I thought that was a great.
That is delightful, and thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.